Christmas. The very word inspires feelings of goodwill, peace, hope, and especially joy, the world over. Since the birth of Christ in Bethlehem over 2,000 years ago, people all over the world have celebrated that joy in many different ways. For the last 800 years, one way has been to tell the story of the Nativity through an art form known as the crèche. But the crèche isn't really a single art form. There are as many different styles of crèches as there are countries and cultures. Some of the most intriguing and distinctive are Crèches of Central Europe. Now, while you might not get to travel to the countries of Central Europe to experience the region's unique crèches firsthand, the Knights of Columbus Museum in New Haven, Connecticut has some on exhibit for you to enjoy. Beautiful, aren't they? Before I tell you more about these displays, here's a little history about how the crèche came to be. The first crèche wasn't a display of figurines. It was actually a group of real people acting out the story of the Nativity back in the year 1223 at the behest of St. Francis of Assisi to remind everyone of the humble, simple setting in which the birth of Jesus took place. Over the centuries, the crèche has sometimes evolved into lavish, ornate displays of artistry. Among the most renowned, the Neapolitan crèche. What you see here is a recreation of that Italian style by one of today's most accomplished crèche artists, using materials and techniques similar to those from 18th century Naples. The attention to detail is remarkable, so much so that the Knights of Columbus Museum has made it a part of its permanent collection. The crèches of Central Europe are just as remarkable, each in their own way and each reflective of the traditions and cultures of the people who created them. Some feature sculpted clay figurines, as you might expect, but the materials others are made from could be almost anything at all. Wood, paper, foil, stone, corn husks, and would you believe, even a mushroom. In Austria, the crèche is a long-standing traditional expression of faith. Another Austrian tradition was crib visiting. People opened their homes to anyone who wanted to see their crèches. And it was a parish priest from Salzburg who, in 1818, created what is still a tradition today. The hymn, Silent Night. It was his poem that provided the lyrics. From Poland, Krakow in particular, came a distinctive style of crèche known as the szopka, based on the art of puppetry from the 17th and 18th centuries. In Slovenia, crèches date back to the mid-1600s, when families would set aside a sacred corner in their living rooms to display their crèches. Over in the Czech and Slovak republics, the crèche is a widespread art form, many handcrafted and carved from wood, others made from paper, but all beautiful and distinctive in their own right. Hungarian traditions go back to the 15th and 16th centuries, when the portable crèche, combining theatrical and sculpted displays, became popular. In Germany over 400 years ago, the crèche was not only a display depicting the Nativity, but a means of communication to spread the Catholic faith in a mostly Protestant country. A family tradition in Germany at Christmas was to decorate what they call the Stube, the living room, and prominently display a crèche, which was typically quite ornate, yet could be made from as simple a material as paper. As you can see, the crèches of Central Europe are diverse in style and tradition. And that's true of crèches from all over the world, in the US, Mexico, South America, Africa, wherever people gather to celebrate Christmas. Whatever the style, from rich and ornate to humble and folksy, just about all crèches have some elements in common. A depiction of the Holy Family, the inn from which Mary and Joseph were turned away, and the angels announcing to the shepherds the arrival of the newborn king. But creches, wherever and whenever they are created and displayed, no matter how different their appearance and the cultural traditions behind them, have one other very important characteristic in common: a message that is timeless and without boundaries, a message of the true meaning of Christmas, a message of the coming of Christ, bringing peace, goodwill, God's love, and joy to the world.